Hi, I'm Neve,
I'm Lynsey.
and this is the Talking Notes podcast where today we're going to be talking about something really fun. We're going to be talking about albums.
We're going to do a little album review.
Like last week, we have so many different music tastes when it comes to music. So,
Yeah.
off the top of your head, your top 3 albums.
Oh my goodness, what a question to start with.
I know I'm really hitting the questions, aren't I?
Okay, I'm going to start with Bastille's, I think it's called Quarter Past Midnight. I'm fidgeting with this book, hold on. I think it's called Quarter Past Midnight by Bastille. And they have a lot of like hidden little trinkets in there,
Yeah.
and like songs linking into each other and sampling different parts of songs and putting it in another. And it's one of those albums that tells a whole story.
I love one of them albums.
My next one would probably be one of the ones I'm going to talk about today.
Okay.
It's Man Ran by Man Ran. It's a Gaelic album.
Ooh.
That was a big part of my childhood. And another one, probably Sum 41's. No, that. There's a couple Sum 41 albums that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
They're also a part of I'd say more my teenagehood than my childhood. That's when I started to get into punk music. What about you?
I would say, as everyone should know by now, number 1 is Alex Warren. Because
I listened to his Grammy performance after our episode last week.
we'll come to this after. So number 1 is Alex Warren because, like I've said before, like I just love how I think his songs are really well done and how like they're all different. Some are like more sad, some are more happy. He writes a lot of songs about his wife Clover, which I want a man who does that. Like, hit me up, someone.
It's very sweet.
I know, like I just love it. So his Alex Warren, and then the second one would probably be the Don't Mind Riley Green album because country, and I went down to London to see this man, so which again like was such a good show.
Yeah.
And my last one, I want to say another country one, but like there's so many.
A Taylor Swift one?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Like, I like Taylor Swift, but there's only like a couple of songs in each album that like I would absolutely die for.
Yeah.
Whereas like sometimes the whole album I do not like. Like her latest one, The Life of a Showgirl, I can only stand a couple of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
And even then I've not like really properly listened to the album.
Yeah.
But I would probably say number 3 is Ivor Slink from Ella Langley, her Hungover album, which is so good. I will literally play that on repeat. Like, that album is like my hairbrush song.
Okay.
Like, that is like, yeah.
I've never heard it, or I don't think I've heard of her either.
Well, number 3 will be Ella Langley then. She's coming out with a new one in like 2 or 3 months, which I'm buzzing for.
Okay.
And I really hope she comes to the UK for tour. Even though she's just announced her American one, I need her to come to the UK.
I mean, I'm sure she will, just probably
better.
not Scotland.
She better. No Scotland, no party.
Exactly.
So, I know a lot of people, I also want to know your take, because this is just came in my head. Do you, when an album comes out, do you listen from start to finish?
Mm-hmm.
And do you kind of go, I like that, that could be a bit better? Or do you just listen to it like bit by bit and not all together?
I will listen to the album from start to finish, just because albums are usually put together in a way to...
For a certain reason.
For certain reasons, yeah, to either tell stories or for ambience or for whatever reason. But usually I find they're put together for a certain reason, so I'd like to appreciate it that way. I think it was Adele. She was campaigning for apps like Spotify to stop letting people listen to whatever track they like, so that they have to listen to the album in full the way it was
intended.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such an Adele thing. But no, I get that. I'm the same. So it's like when one of my favourite artists comes out with a new album, I'm like straight on the dot as soon as it's like the time for it to come out. I will start to finish. And then I'll be liking all the songs. I'm like, I don't really want to hear this one again, you know?
Yeah.
It could be better.
Yeah.
But then I know friends who like they would rather not do that, and they're like, oh, I'll just listen to this song, and I'm like,
But how can you decide, like, based on the name? Are they just choosing?
I don't know. But then I suppose as well, like, you've also got the social media side, which is you hear tracks on like posts and stuff, and so you kind of, with the little snippets and stuff, you can kind of be like, I know that one's gonna be such a good song,
Yeah.
or it's gonna be absolute dog.
Yeah.
So, but album reviews. So we've both chosen a album we like, and we're going to be talking about it. They're all or both Scottish themed. But I say you go first.
Oh, you want me to
Yeah,
go
you can
first?
go first.
Okay. So I've chosen a band. They are called Man Ran, and they are basically a mix of like traditional and folk music, but in a modern day way.
Yeah.
They are a Gaelic. Well, they're not a Gaelic speaking band, but a couple of the members are. And where I'm from and where I grew up, they were such a massive part of the community and my childhood. And they do rearrangements of songs in a folk sense, and I really enjoy it. I think they're really, really talented band. Basically, I'll get into the facts now. They were formed in 2011 on the 5th of July. Oh no, sorry, that's when the album came out. They were formed in 2010. That's when the album came out, which was quite a couple of years ago now. Basically, I would describe it, the album is called Man Ran, so the same name as the band. I would describe it as energetic, a powerful folk music mixed with contemporary and traditional elements. This album won Album of the Year at the Scots Traditional Music Awards. That was in 2011. And it features a lot of modern adaptations of old style Gaelic songs.
Oh.
They also hired the producer of Runrig. His name is Callum Malcolm, to help produce this album. So one of my favourite songs is called Oran na Cloiche. Basically, it means the Song of the Stone. And the song is about celebrating the removal of the Stone of Destiny from Westminster Abbey by Scottish students in 1950. So it's one of those albums that has a lot of story, a lot of context, and a lot of, folklore to it as well. And the song's kind of more a celebratory, high energy, fast-paced, defiant, brave, loud expression of the removal of this stone that was very important to Scottish culture and history at the time. It was used in Scottish coronations. Can you guess where this stone is now, by the way?
Oh, what I said, like somewhere in Scotland.
Yeah, so it has since been returned to Scotland. It's actually in the Perth Museum.
No, wait, stop, because I remember when that opened and everyone was making a fuss. I'm like, it's just a stone.
No, it's a very important stone, actually. And I think it was actually initially found in Perth, I think around 1249. But it was only just returned after the King's coronation in 2023.
Yeah, because they opened that museum then.
Yeah,
There was a big fuss about
I
it.
might go in and have a quick visit to it on my way back down the road. So another song that I really enjoy on it is called Lama. It pretty much means like good day, or in the context, have a good day. This is an original song of theirs, and it's quite nostalgic for me just because it's talking about the island I'm from. We had to sing it in school a lot. So instead of your typical nursery rhymes, this is the type of song we would have to sing in assemblies, sometimes even before lunch in school.
Oh my God.
But I find it very nostalgic. It's very Ceilidh culture-like and traditional. And I really enjoy just the use of their violins in it. And again, like the upbeat nature of the song. I would definitely give that one suggest
Yeah,
to
I'm
listen
just
to
gonna
that
get
one.
you now, like, every single time, like, you think there's a good song I need to listen to or an album, just get you to send it to me because there's so many.
Yeah, I know.
And I keep forgetting to, like, actually, like, write them on my wee list of things I need to listen to.
I feel like they're all kind of different genres as well. Every week it's a different genre. I'll make you a playlist.
Please do.
Um,
I'll be like hammering your phone. Where's my playlist?
and the last song I'm going to discuss, it's called Inyala Van, and this is a very, very old song. It translates to the White Song, and it has also been covered by Julie Fowlis. I think we spoke about Julie Fowlis already, but basically she's very popular in the Gaelic community, and she composed the soundtrack for Brave, massive Disney hit.
I love that movie.
But this song, it's beautiful, it's lyrical, it's like a longing and traditional Gaelic song. They've done an acoustic cover on this album, which makes it more modern and I feel more passionate and gets the meaning of the story across. It is based on a true story of a man in the trenches in World War One, and a lot of Gaelic music is centered around real stories of heartbreak and longing.
Yeah.
And what they've done with this song is they've kind of taken it and they've made it more upbeat and modern, which I can appreciate. It has terms like mochria, which means my heart, snachtokagri in an arts, basically meaning I can't wait for the sun to come up and for this all to be over. And talavler, which they're kind of just talking about trenches there as well. And describing the sights around them. So that's another thing with this album. It's very descriptive.
Yeah.
It's very storytelling, and I find it's very beautiful as well. Yeah.
That's very nice.
And what album would you like to talk about?
So my one that has came out this year. It was the start of this year. It's by Nathan Evans and the band Angels, and it's called Angels Share. And it's kind of more folk pop. But I've spoken about Nathan Evans before, and I like quite a few of his songs.
Did he do a cover of Wagon Wheel?
Maybe.
Do you know the song Wagon Wheel?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
We'll find out after this.
Okay, yes.
But no, like there's quite a good number of his songs like before the album that I really liked, and it's like he would have elements like the bagpipes in the songs, and sometimes you could hear like a whole pipe band, like from like the drums to like whatever. But it's also like it does tell a story, so it's like there's love songs, there's like ones that are probably a bit more personal to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some really good dancey ones. There's Milwaukee Bay. There's Arabella, which is very popular, especially with the kids. But there's so many, and they also did a cover of Cotton Eye Joe, but they made it a bit more like
okay, so
for these times, I suppose. So we did a cover of that.
That's a country song, and so is Wagon Wheel. So
I
assume he has.
Maybe he has done, yeah.
So does he tend to take country music and kind of
yeah? So like, I
Celticize it?
suppose you could. Some of his songs, I suppose, like you could put a country twist to it because it's like with country songs, they'll talk about like the back roads, like scenery.
Yeah.
And there is a number of his songs where they talk about like like country roads, scenery, like things he used to do and stuff.
Nostalgic.
So like kind of nostalgia, like you see in country songs. So, but I don't even know what like really drew me to him. If I'm being honest, like I just like it. But I think the also good thing with Nathan Evans is like probably compared to yours, because yours is more Gaelic based. So it's only gonna hit like probably like the people who do speak it, the people who like can connect with it. Whereas Nathan Evans, I would say his target audience is mainly young folk.
Yeah.
Because I've seen like videos of him, and I also went to one of his pop-ups, and it was just all the kids having the time of their life. There was a good couple of people my age, and obviously a couple of adults with their kids, but it was mainly just the wee ones, and they were singing their hearts out. Like,
I mean, that's good to hear. It's interesting that because I find with Gaelic music, it is more older people
mm,
and Germans. German German people love Gaelic music for whatever reason, but I find with English adaptations like Nathan Evans, it does tend to appeal more to younger audiences. So it's nice to hear that people
yeah, and
are
I think it's because it's more pop that
yeah.
they probably like it even more, and that's what draws them closer to him, I suppose, as an artist. Um, but no, like he's got a good number of their songs, and like, see if I'm like just still awake at like 2 o'clock in the morning, like I will put my AirPods in and I'll listen to like some of his songs. There's like Home, which is a really good one that has like a couple of like bagpipe bits in, but like it's towards the end of that song, especially that's when you can hear like a whole piping band.
That's quite upbeat to listen to it.
I know, like it is like it's a sad song ish, I suppose you could probably say, but it does have a bit of like an upbeat lift to it because of that
Okay.
and the background like music, I suppose. But I mean, I think from someone who like likes to say they're Scottish but they're not really for like properly Scottish, like I'm obsessed with bagpipes anyway.
Yeah.
But like I just love them even more in music and stuff. So like it's like Cammy Barnes, he's like I believe he's from Edinburgh. He came out with a song not too long ago. Can't even remember the name, but he had like bagpipes and everything, and I'm just like, give me it, give me it.
That's what I kind of find. I tend to appreciate Celtic or any sort of Scottish music more at 2, 3 in the morning.
But I also think I like it more, and it's like, you know, you can hear the instruments, you can hear the artist, but like there's just that good feeling you get.
Yeah, it's kind of like if I'm listening to our music, it's like I can picture the landscape alongside it. It just feels like home and familiar.
Yeah, whereas like, you know, when I listen to like my country stuff, like I get more of like, you know, Montana cowboys
Mm-hmm.
being in a rodeo, or it's like Alex Warren, it's more like California, that kind of place, like, and like the
Yeah.
hardships he's gone through. So like
Like it doesn't have your identity kind of
yeah, and I
attached to
think
it.
that's also a really cool thing is like for some artists and some albums you can be like, I identify with this really well.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I can't remember the artist of the album, it was like a good while ago I was listening to it, but at the time I was going through like, I must have been like, what was that, I was like 15, 16. I was like very fresh with my parents, but that album helped me like so much. Like it, like when I was listening to it, I was like, you know what, my life isn't actually that bad.
Yeah.
Which like so many people, like I'm sure you've probably got cases where like you've gone through like friend breakups or like something's happened, but there's just that one album that you just listen to, because I know for me like, there's some songs now that I won't listen to ever again,
Okay, yeah.
because it's like
the memories attached.
it's
to
like
it.
memories attached, whether it's like the people, place, like what's happened with like friendships and stuff, which I also think is very probably common.
Oh yeah.
Like probably a unique experience with music, whereas someone could be like the biggest fan
Mm-hmm.
and would love this like like a certain song or a certain album,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got like the client down the road who's like cannot stand it.
Yeah. I mean, I find I listen to different types of albums, but I find that I listen to music that either I like the sound of, I just generally like the sound of the music, or if an album has like a story behind it,
Yeah.
or stuff you can read up on or get into and find out the lore. And then there's albums I listen to for nostalgic and identity purposes. And
Yeah.
makes me feel like I'm at home, or you know, I'm with my family, and that's what I like about this album, Celtic albums.
Yeah, and I feel like no diss on age, but I feel like because there is a wee bit of an age difference between us, so it's like you're gonna have certain albums that probably like hit you different in a way that it would hit me, because you've got more of the memories, or it's like that was more in the time than it was for me in a way, I suppose.
I mean, possibly.
If you get my drift with that.
A 3-year age gap. I don't know if there'll be much difference, but
I don't know. That kind of just hit my head, being like, well,
like, for example, like I like the sound of rock music, but
I don't like rock music.
I like the way punk music makes me
Yeah.
feel.
I suppose I also could just be like, we've got totally two different personalities, kind of. So
Probably. But yeah, then I like Celtic music for how it makes me feel too, but just in a different sense.
yeah,
Like I feel like punk music for me is more about expression than nostalgia, feeling like home. If that makes sense to you.
that's very interesting. Very interesting. Is there any albums apart from the ones you've recommended,
Yes.
or the ones we've spoken about, that you would recommend to people?
Oh,
I'm hitting with the questions today.
I might be a bit controversial here, but Justin Bieber's new album, is it called Swag?
I think so.
That came out last year. I listened to that album in full when it came out, and I know it's not popular with the people, but I quite enjoy it because it's quite experimental in a hip hop sense for him.
Yeah.
Usually he's a pop artist, or we all know Justin Bieber, but this one, it was very funky, and it had different elements in it that I really appreciated. You know, with All I Can Take and Daisies. Do you know?
I like the song Daisies, yeah.
You know what I mean with Daisy, like with the intro and the guitar, it's funky. It's not like baby, you know
But
what
yeah,
I mean?
like typical Justin Bieber that we all grew up with.
Yeah, like it's got some musicality to it, and I think it deserved more hype than it got.
Maybe that's why people don't like it, because I think when you grew up with an artist, or when you get to see an artist grow up, even like
You'd
through their
rather-
career, you can see and you're familiar with what they're putting out, and it's like you know you're gonna get pop, pop, pop,
Yeah.
or it's like whatever the genre is. So maybe people are like, this ain't pop, I ain't.
Yeah, this is not what I was expecting.
But I suppose like I'm not a Justin Bieber person, so I don't really keep up to date with his music. If I'm being brutally honest, like
Me
there are better
neither.
people I can be listening to. But like I don't think he puts music out that often though.
I
not
wasn't.
not as often as he probably used to. Like
Oh no.
about like 10 years ago.
See, I didn't even know this album was coming out until I think I heard a snippet of it, and then it happened to come out that day, and I'd listened to it, and like, well, this is actually decent. I like this. What's your album?
My album. Oh,
It can't be a country one.
gosh darn
Just
it!
dead
Gosh
silence.
darn it! Gosh darn it! It would have to be a pop one. Oh no, like.
Taylor Swift. I keep accusing you.
You keep just accusing me like Taylor Swift. Nah, I want to
Red.
say, I don't know. Like,
I'm trying to think who else you like.
I'm just trying to think as well who else I actually
like
listen to.
Olivia Rodrigo. Or something?
I do, but like I don't know. Like I like a couple of songs. It's like, but it's like half and half.
Okay, yeah.
But I feel like if I'm, the current trend right now is like 2016 vibe, I would have to be like a little mix, because that was like because of like my age and stuff, like at the time, like that was my like One Direction, I suppose.
Yeah.
If anyone comes for me, they're gonna get a fist in the face. But
no,
like
they're girl power. They were the #1 girl band for a long time. I don't know if they still are.
they're on a hiatus.
Oh, I think they're going to be staying that way.
I know. 16-year-old me's crushed.
I remember them being on X Factor, and their original name was Rhythmics, but they had to change
They had to
that.
change it because it was like the name of a charity.
Do you remember
and so, yeah, so the end had to change it. And then, I'm pretty sure the story was they all originally got told no's, and then they were like forming, and they were like, actually get these 4 girls back on stage.
Oh yeah,
And they were like, can you guys? And they were like, yeah. And then
I think I remember that, but I remember thinking at the time, like, there's no need for them to change their name because they're not going to win. And they're not going to be that famous. So why are they taking it so seriously? Why was I proved wrong?
yes, you were. Yes, you were indeed. That was like my everything. Like, see if like when they first when what was her name, Jessie or something left. Like, all my friends were sending me in. I was like, stop! Like, leave me alone! Like, you can't be breaking my heart. Like, leave me alone. I'm in class.
There is always that one who has to leave. Like, I watched the Take That documentary.
I've not watched that yet.
With Robbie Williams being the first to leave, obviously. Zayn Malik leaving One Direction, and then Jessie leaving. It seems to be a common theme.
Yeah, I suppose everyone's probably like got their reasons. Like,
I think because these are bands that were thrown together, like, artificially. Is that the way to put it?
yeah,
They didn't choose to be in a band together. They were just told,
there you
sing
go.
and go on a humongous world tour and make it work.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just trying to think. Like, I think everyone's got their reasons, but then I think what probably doesn't help is public perspective. So it's like everyone's going to be like, "Oh, this," and you're just like, "Shut up."
Yeah.
Shut up. You're probably not even a fan.
Yeah.
Go away.
Stop having an opinion.
Exactly. So this was our episode talking about albums and me typically rambling as usual. If you like what you heard, we have several other episodes that you can listen to. You will find us on YouTube and SoundCloud and
Possibly Spotify.
possibly Spotify. It's a work in progress. But other than that, we'll see you in our next episode. So I've been Neve.
I've been Lynsey.
And we'll see you next episode.